Welcome to my channel, American Accent. Let me ask you something. What if the only thing standing between you and real English fluency is your silence? That's right, not grammar, not vocabulary, just silence. In this video, I'll show you why talking in English, even with mistakes, is the fastest way to become fluent. You don't need big words. You don't need long sentences. You just need one thing, your voice. So stay with me. I'll guide you step by step. And by the end, you'll see why speaking, even simple English, can change everything. Let's begin. Chapter 1. My first English words, and the fear that stopped them. I still remember the moment like it was yesterday. I was sitting in a small classroom. The teacher looked at me. She smiled and asked a simple question. "Can you introduce yourself in English?" My heart started beating fast. I knew the words. I had practiced them many times. My name is... I live in... I like to read... I had said them in my head again and again, but in that moment, everything felt different. My mouth didn't move. My hands were shaking. My brain felt full, but empty at the same time. I wanted to speak, but I stayed silent. Maybe you've felt this too. Maybe you've studied English. You know the grammar rules. You know some words. You know how to build a sentence. But when it's time to speak, your mind goes blank. Your chest feels tight. You worry, what if I say it wrong? What if they don't understand me? What if they laugh? That fear, it's strong. Stronger than the words in your mind. Stronger than your wish to speak. That day, in the classroom, I sat in silence. The teacher moved on. The class continued, and I just looked down. But something inside me felt sad. Not because I didn't know the answer, but because I didn't try. I went home and stood in front of a mirror. I looked at myself. I said just one sentence. My name is Tom. That was it. Just 5 words. But I said them out loud. My voice was quiet, a little shaky, but it was real. And I felt something. I felt proud. I had broken the silence. It wasn't perfect, but it was mine. That one sentence became a door, a beginning. After that, I tried more. I started speaking small sentences at home. I would say, I am eating. It's raining. I like this book. I didn't worry about mistakes. I didn't wait for someone to ask me a question. I just spoke. In my room, while walking, in my head, or out loud. And slowly the fear got smaller. My confidence grew. My voice became stronger. I began to realize that fluency doesn't start with big words. It starts with small courage. Many learners think they need to study more before they can speak. But I'm telling you, it's the other way around. Speaking helps you learn faster. It helps you remember words better. It helps you think in English. But first, you need to say that first sentence. Just one. Even if it's simple. Even if it's hello or I don't know. That sentence is your key. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It just has to be yours. I've talked to many students over the years. They all tell me the same thing. I understand English. I can read and write, but I can't speak. And I always ask, why not? Most of the time, it's not about English. It's about fear. Fear of judgment, fear of mistakes, fear of being slow. But here's the truth. Mistakes are normal. Everyone makes them, even native speakers. And no one becomes fluent by staying quiet. You learn to speak by speaking. Let me ask you something. What was the first English sentence you ever wanted to say but didn't? Maybe it was, "Can I sit here?" Or, "Where's the bus stop?" Or, "Nice to meet you." Maybe you were at school, or at a store, or online. Can you remember that moment, that feeling, that pause? I want you to go back there for just a second. Now take that sentence and say it out loud, right now. Just try. That one sentence still matters. It still wants to come out. You see, fluency doesn't begin in a book. It begins in your voice. You don't need a perfect sentence. You just need a real one. Something honest, something brave, something that opens the door. And once you open it, new words, new thoughts, new confidence will start to flow. So today, say your first sentence again. And tomorrow, say one more. One step at a time. One voice. One moment. And I promise you, your English will grow, not just in your head, but in your life. Chapter 2. Why talking is more powerful than studying. Let me tell you something important. Fluency is not something you get from just reading books or watching videos. Fluency comes from speaking, from using your voice, from talking again and again. And I know that sounds scary at first. You might be thinking, but I need to study more first. Or, I should finish this grammar book before I speak. But let me ask you, when do babies start speaking? Do they wait until they understand all the rules? Do they say, "Let me study sentence structure first"? Of course not. They listen. Then they speak. They copy what they hear. They make mistakes. But they keep trying. And one day, they can talk fluently, naturally, easily. The same is true for you. When you talk, your brain is doing something powerful. It's not just remembering words. It's connecting thoughts, sounds, feelings, and rhythm. It's building real language, language you can use, not just recognize. When you speak, your mouth starts learning. Your tongue moves differently. Your memory gets stronger. You start to feel what sounds right and what doesn't. You start to build confidence. You stop translating and start thinking in English. Now think about this. If you read a new word, maybe you'll remember it. But if you say it out loud, use it in a sentence, talk about it, you will remember it faster. You will understand it better. You will own it. Reading and listening are helpful, yes, but they are quiet. They are soft. Speaking is loud. Speaking is active. It uses your body, your breath, your heart. That's why talking is more powerful than studying. It makes English real. When you only study silently, it feels safe. You don't make mistakes. No one hears you. But silent learning is slow. You collect words in your brain, but you don't practice using them. It's like learning to swim by watching videos. You understand what to do, but you still can't swim until you jump in the water. Speaking English is the same. You have to jump in, even if it's messy, even if you forget a word. even if it's not perfect, because real fluency comes from real use. When you speak, even if it's just to yourself, your learning becomes faster, more emotional, more natural. You begin to connect English to your daily life. I am brushing my teeth. I am making tea. It's a sunny day. These are not just words. They are your words. They are part of your life. And that's how fluency is born, not in silence, but in sound. I want you to try something today. Don't just study. Speak out loud. If you learn a new phrase, say it. Say it 10 times. Use it in your daily life. If you read a sentence, read it out loud. Listen to your voice. Feel the words in your mouth. Let them live there. Because your voice is your real classroom, and every time you speak, you grow. Now I know what some of you may be thinking. But what if I say it wrong? That's okay. That's good, actually. Mistakes are signs that you're using English, not just memorizing it. And every mistake teaches you something new. You learn faster when you speak wrong than when you stay quiet. That's the magic of talking. It's real, it's raw, and it works. Let me say something that I truly believe. You don't need more words in your head. You need more words in your mouth. You already know enough to begin. You just need to use what you know. Speak it. Practice it. Repeat it. That's how you build fluency. Not by waiting, not by reading one more page, but by opening your mouth and letting the English come out. And here's the truth. It doesn't have to be big. You don't need long speeches. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need to say what you can, when you can. Start small. I am tired. This is my book. I like coffee. These simple sentences are not simple. They are powerful. They are practice. And practice is everything. So speak, even if you feel shy, even if your voice shakes, even if you pause in the middle. Speak. Because every time you talk, you take one step closer to fluency. Every sentence is a seed, and one day your English will grow strong, confident, and free. Now let's go deeper. In the next chapter, I'll tell you exactly how I started speaking by myself and how it completely changed my English journey. You don't want to miss this. Let's keep going. Chapter 3. How I practiced talking alone, and it changed everything. Let me share a little secret with you. The first person I really spoke English with was me. That's right. Not a teacher, not a friend, not a classmate. Just me. And that small, quiet decision changed everything. I was tired of waiting for the perfect chance to speak. Tired of waiting for someone to ask me a question. Tired of waiting for a classroom or a group or a native speaker to appear. So, I stopped waiting. I stood in front of a mirror and just began. I looked at myself and said, "Hi, how are you?" I smiled, even though it felt a little silly. I replied to myself, "I'm fine, thank you." And just like that, I was speaking. Talking to yourself in English might sound strange at first, but it's one of the most powerful ways to practice. And do you know why? Because there is no pressure. No one is watching. No one is judging. There is no fear of mistakes. You can be slow. You can repeat. You can try again. You can be free. And freedom is exactly what your English needs to grow. I started doing this every day, while walking to the bus stop, while brushing my teeth, while cooking breakfast. I would say small, simple sentences like, I am making tea. It's hot. I like it. These are not complicated words, but they are mine. They are real. And they helped me connect English to my everyday life. That's the magic. When English becomes part of your day, not just something in a book, your fluency begins to grow. You don't need special time. You don't need a classroom. You just need 5 minutes a day. That's it. Just 5 minutes to speak out loud. You can talk about anything. What you see, what you feel, what you're doing. For example, it's morning. I feel sleepy. I will make coffee. Or, the sun is bright today. I like sunny weather. It makes me happy. Simple language, real thoughts, spoken in real time. The best English conversation you'll ever have is the one you start with yourself, because that's where it all begins. That's where you practice without fear. That's where you build the habit. And when you build that habit in private, something amazing happens. You get ready for public. You get ready for the world. At first, I used just 1 or 2 sentences, but slowly I added more. I started telling little stories. Yesterday, I watched a movie. It was funny. I laughed a lot. Then I started asking myself questions. What did I eat today? I had eggs and toast. I answered myself, too. It became like a game, a small English world that lived with me every day. You can do this, too. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need big vocabulary. You just need to describe your world. Speak what you see. Say what you feel. I am tired. I want to rest. My bed looks soft. That is English. That is fluency. Because fluency is not fancy. It's real. Make it part of your routine. Maybe in the morning while getting ready, or at night before bed, maybe while doing dishes, or walking. It doesn't matter when. What matters is that you speak. Out loud. To yourself. 5 minutes a day. Every day. That is the practice. That is the path. You can even look in the mirror. Smile at yourself. Practice common sentences. How's your day? What do you think? Let me check. These small phrases feel different when you say them. They start to live in your mouth. They become easy, automatic. And that's what fluency really is. Automatic speech, not perfect speech. And the best part? No one can stop you. You don't need permission. You don't need someone to correct you. You are the teacher. You are the student. You are the voice. And every day you do this, your English gets stronger, braver, smoother. So today, try it. Just 5 minutes. Choose a time. Look around you. Say what you see. Say what you feel. Say what you're doing. It might feel small, but it's not. It's everything. Because talking to yourself in English is not just a trick. It's a tool, a habit, a quiet promise you make to yourself. I will speak. I will grow. I will become fluent. Now, in the next chapter, I'll show you how this small practice turns into real conversations. How your 5-minute talk with yourself becomes your first talk with others. Get ready. Your voice is just getting started. Let's keep going. Chapter 4. From one word to real conversations, I still remember the first time I said just one word in English to someone else. It was, hello. That's it. Just hello. Not a full sentence, not a question, just one word. But my heart was beating fast. My hands felt cold. I had been practicing alone for many days, talking in my room, talking while cooking, talking while walking. But this time it was real. I said hello to a neighbor, and they smiled. And they said, hi back. That one small word, it opened something. A door, a little window of confidence. I had spoken English, not alone, but in the real world. That's how fluency begins. Not with a big conversation, but with a small sound, a word, a phrase, a tiny connection. After hello, I practiced how are you? It was short, but I practiced the sound, the smile, the feeling. I said it to myself first, then to the mirror. Then, one day, I said it to someone at the grocery store. How are you? And they said, I'm good, thank you. And you? My brain froze for a second. But then I said, I'm good. Just like that. My first English exchange. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't long, but it was real. And that's the point. Fluency is not about big speeches. It's about real moments, real speaking, real growth. One sentence at a time. Let me show you how this works. Think of it like a ladder, a speaking ladder. Step by step, you climb. And each step is a new moment of confidence. Level 1. Speak alone. You talk to yourself. You practice simple sentences. No pressure. Level 2. Speak to someone safe. Maybe a friend, a family member, someone who supports you. Even if you both speak the same language, you can switch to English for 5 minutes a day. Level 3. Speak to a stranger. This can feel scary, but it doesn't have to be long. You can say, hi. You can ask, is this seat taken? Or, what time is it? Small, polite questions. Real-world English. Each level builds on the last. And every time you speak, something changes inside you. Your fear gets smaller, your voice gets stronger, and slowly, English becomes part of your real life, not just your practice time. You don't have to rush, you don't have to force it. Take your time. Speak one word today, then 2 tomorrow, then try a short sentence next week. The point is not speed. The point is progress. The point is practice. And here's the truth. The more you speak, the easier it gets. Your brain starts to learn the rhythm. Your tongue starts to feel the sounds. Your thoughts come faster. Your confidence grows. It's like building a muscle. One word is a push-up. One sentence is a workout. And one conversation is a celebration. One of my students, Mariam, once told me, "Teacher, I only speak English once a month, and every time I forget everything." I said, "That's normal. But imagine if you spoke once a day, just one sentence." She tried. She started saying good morning to her boss, nice day to a coworker. Can I help you? At her job. In 1 month, she felt different. She said, "Now my English feels alive." That's the power of speaking, not studying, not memorizing. Speaking. Speaking is action. Speaking is change. Speaking is growth. And every word you say makes the next one easier. So I want you to try something today. Just one level up. If you've only been speaking alone, talk to someone you trust. If you've been speaking to friends, say hi to someone new. Don't wait for fluency. Build it. Build it with your words. Because fluency is not a test you pass. It's a habit you build. One sentence at a time. Every sentence is a step. Every conversation is a climb. And the top of the ladder? It's not perfection. It's confidence. It's connection. It's the ability to share who you are in a new language. And you can get there. Slowly, kindly, step by step. In the next chapter, we'll talk about one thing that often stops people: the fear of making mistakes. And I'm going to show you why mistakes are not the enemy. They're your greatest teacher. Let's keep going. Chapter 5. Mistakes are not the problem. Silence. Let me tell you something that took me years to understand. Mistakes are not the problem. Silence is. That's right. Saying the wrong word, using the wrong grammar, forgetting something mid-sentence, that's not what stops your fluency. What really stops you is being afraid to try, afraid to speak, afraid to sound imperfect. But guess what? Perfection is not the goal. Growth is. And every mistake you make is proof that you're growing. I remember a moment early in my English journey. I was at a small bakery. I wanted to ask for a piece of cake, but I got nervous. I said, "Can I have a piece of cake?" The woman behind the counter smiled kindly. She didn't laugh. She didn't correct me harshly. She said, "Sure." One piece of cake coming right up. I smiled too. And after that, I never forgot the difference between peace and peace. Why? Because I made a mistake, and I learned from it. You see, every native speaker makes mistakes too. Yes, even people who speak English from birth say the wrong word sometimes. They mix up tenses. They forget names. They start sentences and don't finish them. It happens all the time. The difference is they don't stop talking. They just keep going. That's what I want for you too. Keep going. Don't freeze. Don't fall into silence. Fear of mistakes is powerful. It tells you, wait until you're better. It says, they'll laugh at you. It whispers, you're not ready. But none of that is true. You are ready, right now. Not because you're perfect, but because you're willing. Willing to try, willing to learn, willing to speak. I always tell my students, when you speak, you grow. When you're silent, nothing changes. You stay in the same place. But every word you say, right or wrong, moves you forward. Every sentence is a little risk, but it's also a little victory. Even if you say it wrong, you said it. You used your voice. And that's powerful. I want you to say something with me right now. Out loud. Say, I'm learning. I make mistakes, and that's okay. Again, I'm learning. I make mistakes, and that's okay. Let that become your new mindset. Let it live in your heart every time you open your mouth. One of my students once said, "But what if people laugh?" I said, "Then you laugh too, and speak again." Because most people aren't laughing at you, they're cheering for you. They know learning a language is hard. They respect your effort. And when they hear your voice, they don't hear the mistake. They hear your courage. You will say wrong things. That's part of the journey. You might say, "I am boring," when you mean, "I am bored." You might say, "I cook very hardly," instead of, "I cook very well." And it's okay. You're learning. And every time you speak, your brain corrects itself. You remember what felt strange. You hear what sounded wrong. And next time, you do it better. The truth is, your next mistake might be the sentence that changes your fluency forever. Why? Because it might be the moment you stop being afraid. It might be the time you say, "Oops," and then smile. It might be the sentence that teaches you more than 10 grammar rules ever could. That's the power of speaking. That's the gift inside every little error. So don't wait to be perfect. That day will never come, and it doesn't need to. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to be brave. You're here to be real. You're here to speak, even with broken sentences, even with pauses, even with mistakes, because that's where fluency begins. Today, I want you to make one small mistake on purpose. Say something in English, even if you're not sure it's right. Say it proudly. Say it with your full voice. And then smile. You're not failing. You're practicing. You're growing. You're moving forward. And now, in the final chapter, we bring it all together. We take your voice, your steps, your effort, and we show you how your English can truly change your life. One sentence, one moment, one conversation at a time. Let's keep going. You're almost there. Chapter 6. Speak now, because English is already inside you. Let me tell you something from my heart. You don't need perfect grammar to speak English. You don't need more books, more rules, more waiting. What you need, what you've always needed, is already inside you. It's your voice. It's your courage. It's your heart. Your English is not hiding in some future lesson. It's not waiting in a classroom. It's not locked inside a textbook. It's already with you. Right now, right here. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine this. You're at a cafe. You walk up to the counter and say, "Hi, I'd like a coffee, please." The barista smiles. You smile. It's a real conversation. You understood. You replied. You used English in the real world. Or maybe you're in a meeting. You raise your hand and say, "I have an idea." Your voice is calm. Your message is clear. Or maybe it's even more personal. You meet someone new and you say, "Nice to meet you." And they say it back. And you feel it. Connection, pride, joy. All because you spoke. That future, it's not a dream. It's waiting for you. And it starts with one small sentence. That's all. One sentence that you speak today. One sentence that says, "I'm ready, not perfect, not polished, but ready." I want you to say something with me right now, out loud, no matter where you are. Say, "Today I will speak English." Again. Today I will speak English. Say it softly. Say it proudly. Say it like a promise. Not to me, to yourself. Because this journey you're on, It's not just about words. It's about belief. It's about action. It's about finding your voice in a new language and using it to meet the world. Every moment you've spent watching, listening, learning, it's all been leading to this, speaking. And when you speak, you change, you grow, you begin to see yourself differently, not as a learner, but as a communicator, a speaker, a person who doesn't just study English, but lives in it, feels it, uses it. You're stronger than you think. You're ready, even if you don't feel it. English doesn't need you to be perfect. It just needs you to be present. One sentence today, one sentence tomorrow. And day by day, your fluency will grow, not in silence, but in sound. You've walked through fear. You've practiced alone. You've learned to trust your voice. You've made mistakes and kept going. And now you're standing on the edge of something big. Real conversations, real confidence, real fluency. So speak now. Say something small, something simple. I like this video. I want to learn more. I can do this. Let your English come out. Let it live in your world. Because English fluency is not waiting in a school. It's waiting in your voice. And this is not the end of your journey. This is the beginning. If even one part of this video helped you, if it made you feel brave, or gave you hope, or made you want to speak English, please do 4 simple things. Like this video, comment below, and tell me, what English sentence will you speak today? Subscribe to American Accent for more warm, simple lessons. Share this video with a friend who wants to speak, but feels afraid. And remember, fluency does not begin in your brain. It begins in your voice. So speak it. Even one word. Even one sentence. Because that sentence could be your start.